All right, a huge hello to all the apprentices from Kent Business College. Get ready because today we're skipping the boring stuff. We're not talking spreadsheets, we are talking about defending castles. And yeah, I mean the digital castles where you're all going to be working.
So I really want you to lock this image in your brain. Any company you work for, it's not just an office building or a website. No way. It's a digital kingdom. It's got treasure, that's all the data. It's got walls to protect it, and you better believe it has enemies who are trying to get in like 24/7. Thinking of it this way, it is a total game changer.
You know, for the longest time, everyone thought a big, strong firewall, which is basically a digital moat around the castle, was all you needed. Problem solved, right? Well, wrong. The thing is, today's attackers are just incredibly clever. They've got digital grappling hooks, they can tunnel under your defenses, and sometimes they just sweet-talk a guard into opening the gate. The old moat and wall strategy, it's just not enough anymore.
And that right there is the million-dollar question. If your main defense can be tiptoed around, you can't just sit there hoping for the best. You need eyes and ears everywhere. You need an intelligence network. You have to know the second an intruder gets inside. So, how on earth do we do that?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. It's called threat detection. Just think of it as your kingdom's network of watchtowers, guards, and sneaky spies. Their one and only job is to spot trouble before it gets out of hand and sound the alarm. And they have two main tricks up their sleeve for telling who's a friend and who's a foe.
Okay, so the first method is super straightforward. Imagine your guards have a big book, a most wanted list, with pictures of all the enemy flags we've seen before. If they spot one of those flags on the horizon, they don't hesitate. Bam! The alarm bells go off. This is absolutely brilliant for catching the bad guys we already know about.
But what if the enemy is using a new flag you've never seen? Or what if a spy is already inside, disguised as, say, the Castle Baker? This is where the second method comes in, and honestly, it's genius. It learns what's normal. So, the baker bakes bread, that's normal. But if a guard suddenly spots the baker, not at his oven, but trying to pick the lock on the royal treasury? Whoa, hold on a second. That is not normal. Time to ring that alarm. This is how you catch those brand new sneaky attacks.
So let's just lay it all out here. On one hand, you have your signature-based detection. It's reliable, it's great for known threats, but it's completely blind to anything new. On the other hand, you've got anomaly-based detection. It can catch those sneaky, never-before-seen zero-day attacks. Its only weakness? Sometimes it can get a little jumpy and mistake the court jester juggling near the treasury for a real threat. The big takeaway is that you need both. They work as a team, covering each other's weaknesses.
Okay, so we get the theory. We know how we spot the bad guys. But what are we actually using? What are the tools for the job? Well, welcome to the Digital Armory. Let's look at the actual gear that makes all this happen. We're gonna look at the three big ones: IDS, IPS, and SIM. Now, I know, that's a whole bunch of acronyms. But trust me, if you just stick with our castle story, it's all gonna click into place perfectly. First up, we've got the IDS, the Intrusion Detection System. Just think of the D for detect. This system is literally just your alarm bells. It watches everything that's going on, and if it spots a known enemy flag or sees that baker acting all suspicious, it just shouts. It rings a bell really loudly so the security team knows something is up. It detects and it alerts. Simple as that. Now, let's talk about the IPS, the Intrusion Prevention System. This is the IDS's bigger, tougher sibling. Think P for prevent. An IPS doesn't just ring a bell and hope someone does something. No, it takes action. It sees that enemy charging the gate and slam, it automatically drops the portcullis. It blocks the threat right then and there. It prevents the attack from happening. And finally, the big boss, the SIM. This is your command center, your high-tech war room. Imagine a giant glowing map of the entire kingdom. The SIM pulls in all the alerts from the alarm bells, all the reports from the gate slammers, and puts it all in one place. This lets the security team see the whole picture at once, connect the dots, and make really smart, fast decisions.
Okay, let's be real for a second. Even with the best defenses, sometimes an attacker gets through. The alarm goes off, but they're already inside the walls. This is the moment where panic can destroy you. What you need isn't panic. What you need is a plan. A calm, step-by-step battle plan. We call this an incident response plan.
And this is that plan. Step 1, identification.
Make sure it's a real threat, not a false alarm. Step 2, containment. You trap the intruder, lock them in one room so they can't roam around and steal the crown jewels. Step 3, eradication. Get them out, kick them off the network. Step 4, recovery. Fix the damage they caused. And finally, step 5, which is maybe the most important of all, lessons learned. You don't just patch the hole, you study exactly how they got in so it can never, ever happen again.
Because, and this is key, the war is never truly over. Winning a single battle is great, but a smart defender is already thinking about the next one. This is all about shifting your mindset from just defending to actively hunting.
I really want this to sink in. That lessons learned part of the plan, that's where you win the long-term war. Every attack against you, even a successful one, is basically free consulting from your enemies. They're showing you exactly where your walls are weak. You take that priceless information and you build a much, much stronger castle. And that brings us to the ultimate power move, proactive threat hunting. This is seriously next-level stuff. Instead of just waiting for enemies to show up at your gate, you start sending your best scouts out into the wilderness to find them first. You're hunting for their camps before they've even drawn up their attack plans. You're taking the fight to them.
Which really brings us to the whole point of this. You can have the strongest walls, the best tools, the most brilliant plans, but they're just things. They're static. That vigilant watch, well, that's a person. That's the smart, creative human defender paying attention. That's you. The tech is just a tool. The vigilance comes from people. So I'm going to leave you with this one question. As you all go out into the world and start your careers, you're going to find these digital castles everywhere. The tools are there, the plans are ready. But who's actually going to be on the watchtower? Who's got the skill and the focus to stand guard? That defender, that could be you.